Super Mario Party Jamboree has finally been released, and after playing it non-stop over the past few days, I have to say that it's a fantastic entry in the Mario Party series. One of the many reasons for this is the incredible quality of the 7 boards featured. Hey internet, I'm Bryse, and in this video, I'm going to be ranking every board in Super Mario Party Jamboree from worst to best. After you watch the video, let me know what your favorite board is in the comments below. Anyways, without further ado, let's go! Coming in at number 7, we have our first of 2 classic boards, Mario's Rainbow Castle from the original Mario Party on the N64. Before I start here, I just want to state that just because Rainbow Castle is coming in at the bottom spot, that doesn't mean it's a bad board. To be honest, I don't think there's a dud in the crowd when it comes to Jamboree's boards. Mario's Rainbow Castle is a 1-star difficulty board that plays true to its original counterpart, where players traverse a fairly linear path to reach the end of the board in hopes of seeing Toad and getting a star for 20 coins. The gimmick here is that you're not guaranteed to see Toad at the end of the board, as Toad and Imposter Bowser rotate out every time you pass them at the end. Reaching Imposter Bowser will result in the player being forced to purchase a sitar for 20 coins, which is completely useless. Which apparently that's how it's pronounced, a Zatar and not a Z-Star.
You got a Zatar.
A change they made in this version is that the Zatar does not make you lose one of your actual stars, a change which I can appreciate. All the event spaces on this board do the exact same thing, rotating Toad and Imposter Bowser's positions. Another way to change their positions is the new board exclusive item, the Tower Turner. Now this item is not a guarantee that they will switch, as it pretty much comes down to a coin flip on which face the Tower Turner will stop on. The reason Mario's Rainbow Castle is at the bottom of this list is due to its simplistic board layout and a gimmick that can be extremely frustrating. Be prepared for Toad and Imposter Bowser to switch positions a lot, which can screw you hardcore if you're at the end of the board. This board would probably be straight up bad if it wasn't for a variety of items that you can use to your advantage to avoid reaching Imposter Bowser, such as the Tower Turner, pipes, and warp boxes. I really do enjoy how the weather changes based on who's currently at the front of the tower, with Toad having sunny skies and Imposter Bowser having storm clouds. I see cars! Triggered! Unlike those atrocities, Super Mario Party Jamboree does cars right. Raceway takes place on a racetrack much to the akin of Mario Kart, and a fun twist on this board is that players traverse the board by driving in a race car, as opposed to by foot as on the other boards. Raceway is considered a 3-star difficulty board, which I find rather odd. In my opinion, it should be 2-star, but I digress. Once a player completes a lap of the circuit, they get 10 coins, and for every subsequent lap, they'll get an additional 10 coins on top of that. So 20 coins for 2 laps, 30 coins for 3 laps, and so on and so on. Raceway only features 2 possible locations where the star can appear, both being on the top half of the track where the board's only branching path is. The very top path is the most dangerous, as landing on any of the 2 event spaces up there makes a bruiser chase players along the path, similar to the Sniffet Patrol of Spaceland in Mario Party 2, meaning you'll be chased right past the star. Other event spaces include 3 separate sets on the left, right, and bottom branching paths at the top of the track, which if landed on will cause you to get flinged either forward or backwards depending on where the jump pads are located, because they can switch spaces depending on a third happening event here that will switch these paths locations, as well as which item shop is active, Koopas or Kameks. The Turbo Dice is the board's exclusive item, which allows players to roll 4 dice blocks, giving them a range from 4 to 40 spaces to travel in a single turn. This item is high risk, high reward, however, as the downside of using the dice block is at the cost of not being able to interact with any board event you pass, including a star space. So it's definitely an item you need to use strategically and at the right moment. Overall, Raceway is a fun concept. I do enjoy how games seem to be faster paced here, which I guess makes sense being on a racetrack. However, I just enjoy the more classic style of Mario Party, where you have more routes to take across the board and the star space has more variety on where it's going to appear next. Like Rainbow Castle, Raceway may be good for newer players to play first, due to its simplistic board design. At number 5, we have the game's starter board, Mega Wiggler's Tree Party. It's hard to rank the starter board in any Mario game very high, due to them usually being basic in design, which is very understandable, as they're meant to get players familiar with the game without any crazy bells or whistles. However, Mega Wiggler's Tree Party does have some crazy bells. Well, at least one being the board exclusive item, the Wiggler Bell, but we'll get to that shortly. This board is a standard star hunting board that sees the star location change spaces after one is purchased. It takes place in a tree orchard with a sleeping Mega Wiggler in the middle. Mega Wiggler is the board's gimmick, as players can take a shortcut across the board by traversing its back. Landing on certain happening spaces will cause players to ring a bell that will wake Mega Wiggler, causing them to move and creating a new shortcut. You can also use that board exclusive item I mentioned earlier, the Wiggler Bell, to trigger Wiggler to move as well. However, ringing the bell sometimes causes Mega Wiggler to get angry, which will switch the spaces on its back from blue and Lucky spaces to red and Bowser spaces. Landing on an event space near one of the Piranha Plants will have the Piranha Plants bite the player, stealing 5 coins the first time. However, water drops will cause the Piranha Plant to grow, causing the number of coins it takes away to increase by 1 each time it's encountered. In conclusion, being a very basic starter board means that this board does nothing bad, but also does nothing great. It's also on the smaller side, having only 63 spaces. I think having about 10 more would make this board honestly move up a spot for me. Mega Wiggler's Tree Party is the board to play for new Mario Party players to learn the basics. Are you enjoying what you're seeing so far? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, as we are currently on the path to 8,000 subscribers. Also, be sure to check out my second channel, Bryse Bites, where I upload animated short films and series.
What's going on? Oh no. Sprinkle! Looks like it's just the 3 of us. Oh, come on.
Anyways, let's get back to the video. Moving from the forest to a tropical island paradise, we have Goomba Lagoon at the number 4 spot. Goomba Lagoon is made up of multiple islands, a shipwreck, and the main attraction, a large volcano shaped like a giant Goomba. This board also features changes to the tide, causing various aspects of the board to change as it's played, both aesthetically and physically. If the tide is low, the board is very opened up and easy to traverse. But once it's high, many pathways become submerged in water and are unable to be used. This can result in you getting trapped on one of the small islands, being forced to go in circles, similar to Mystery Land from Mario Party 2. The good thing, however, is that the tide will change every 2 turns. There's only a few methods to get to the other side of the board during high tide. The first is by landing on one of the 2 event spaces by the zip lines, that forces the player to travel to the other end of the zip line, with Goomba charging the player a small fee in the process. The second method is by using a warping item, such as a pipe or swap mirror, but the best method is by using the board exclusive item, the Tide Shell. This item allows you to change the tide of the water, meaning if it's high tide it will become low, or if it's low it will become high. So not only is this item great for opening the paths back up, but it's also great for closing the paths to mess with your opponents. Passing by the volcano at the center of the board will cause it to erupt. Doing this will spew out either many gold Goombas or many lava bubbles on different spaces. Passing through each gold Goomba awards 5 coins, while passing through each lava bubble will take away 3 coins, so proceed on this part of the board with caution. In my opinion, Goomba Lagoon is a good middle of the road board. Although the changing tide can cause you to get trapped on an island, it does only last 2 turns, meaning it won't screw you over for too much of the game. Also, with all the items out there, you can easily get yourself out of that predicament. I really like how they didn't just make this board a basic beach or water board. There's substance here, like the Goomba fishing minigame, where if you land on the event spaces near them, you'll attempt to fish multiple times and receive as many coins as you can, as long as the total doesn't exceed 15, which if it does, then you'll lose all the coins you've received. There's also a Goomba treasure chest game, where you can earn an item if you pick the correct treasure chest. Just don't pick Goomba or you'll lose some coins. Taking the bronze medal of boards, we have the game's finale board, King Bowser's Keep. This board takes place above a giant castle surrounded by lava and features Imposter Bowser, who stands at the center of the board, also known as the Bowser Byway. This is one of the larger boards in the game, and features many branching paths and board events to interact with. The first you'll probably encounter is the Versus Mecha Koopa event. In this event, the player has to roll a dice to fight back against Mecha Koopa. A small Mecha Koopa is located on the right corner of the Bowser Byway, which has 3 hit points, and awards 6 coins for a victory, or takes away 3 coins for a defeat. A larger Mecha Koopa is located at the far end of the board, which has 7 hit points, and awards 15 coins for a victory, or takes away 5 coins for a defeat. The second event is the Gear Shift. When passing through a gear on the Bowser Byway, the player receives the contents on the current side of the gear, which could be 3 to 10 coins, or a bomb, which takes away 5 coins. The gear is rotated clockwise after every visit, and is reset after all the contents of the gear have been claimed. Pipes are also featured throughout the board. Going through any green pipe brings the player back to start, and dry bones will give them 10 coins. But going through the red pipe will bring the player back to the center of the Bowser Byway. The big event here is the Bowser Vault. When passing by it, the player can attempt to enter a 2-digit passcode to open it, and receive all the stars and coins that Bowser has stolen from Bowser Space events. This here can be a huge game changer, as Bowser Spacers here are plentiful. This is mainly due to the main gimmick here, where every 3 turns, Imposter Bowser will add 2 additional Bowser Spaces on the Bowser Byway. So get ready to lose lots of coins and potentially stars. Oh, and if that's not bad enough, on occasion if a player lands on a Bowser Space, Imposter Bowser will destroy the roulette and force the player to give up a star if they have one, or all the coins if they don't have one. Landing on any of the event spaces on the Bowser Byway will cause Imposter Bowser to reverse the direction you travel on the Bowser Byway. This can also be changed by using this board's exclusive item, the Bowser Byway lever. All in all, King Bowser's Keep is not the best Bowser board in the series, but it's about the middle of the pack. It's certainly a challenging board for experienced players that can get frustrating the longer the game goes on with all the Bowser spaces that get added. This is Bowser at his most ruthless. Or I guess Imposter Bowser. You know what I mean. You just got Rainbow Galleria'd! Yeah, that just doesn't hit as hard. Anyways, at the number 2 spot, and just missing out as the best board in Super Mario Party Jamboree, we have Rainbow Galleria. This board takes place in a shopping mall that consists of 3 floors, and features a variety of different shops that you can get unique items from, such as a gold shop on the top floor that allows you to purchase golden items from. The floors can be traversed using one of the many escalators, moving you up or down 1 floor, or by using the elevator located on the 1st and 3rd floor, which for 5 coins will bring you up to the 3rd floor from the 1st, or down to the 1st floor from the 3rd. It's definitely a fun change of pace aesthetically, and it makes it stand out from previous Mario Party boards. This is a classic type board that sees the star space change locations once obtained. But the twist here is that every 5 turns, a flash sale will take place, making everything half price, including items and stars. There are also 4 colored stamp stations located throughout the board. If a player collects all 4 stamps and returns them to the kiosk on the 1st floor, they'll receive a whopping 50 coins. All of the special shops mentioned before are tied to event spaces that must be landed on. There's also a thrift store event space on the 3rd floor that causes Womp to forcefully buy one of the items that the player has. But in exchange, the player receives an amount of coins equal to twice its original cost in a shop. The 3rd floor also features a last place shop, which could only be used by the player in last place. This last place player receives 15 coins, and has the option to buy an item from this shop. And finally, there's the drawing station located on the 2nd floor, which allows the player to participate in this event if they have previously bought in items. The player gets to make 1 drawing per item purchased, and can win either coins or a golden pipe respectively. Rainbow Galleria is the best new board that Super Mario Party Jamboree has to offer. It's decent in size, and allows for a variety of different ways to traverse it. The stamp collecting is a side fun thing that you can do if you want more coins, but is in no way needed in order to achieve a victory. The shops in the drawing station are also fun to interact with, and it really helps bring this mall even more to life. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have the best board in Super Mario Party Jamboree, Western Land. I know this placement was probably pretty obvious to many, especially if you're familiar with this board from Mario Party 2, but how could I not put this at the number 1 spot? It's so good! There are some changes made to this board, but in my opinion, they're all pretty much improvements. A path has been added to the bottom left that can bring you back into the center of town. This was a smart change because in the original, if you were traversing the tracks, there wasn't really a way to get off them, and you were pretty much stuck traversing the perimeter of the board. The pathway with the gate on the right was also altered. In Jamboree's version, the gate is activated from the opposite side as in the originals, meaning this pathway is reversed. So instead of moving down the board, you actually move back up the board to the gate. This does cause an exploit to Boo spam, as you can use Boo on the right side of the map, and then use this new pathway to go through the gate, and appear right before the item shop, which is just a few spaces from Boo. Not gonna lie, I may have used this my first time when playing Western Land, just saying. The main attraction of Western Land is still Steamer the Train, which you can pay coins at a station to ride him to the next. Or new to this version, ride him across 2 stations. It's not a guarantee which direction Steamer will travel, due to the random dice roll still taking place determining his direction of travel. You can move Steamer's location by landing on event spaces on the tracks, and any players in Steamer's way will be booted back to the starting space. The board exclusive item here is related to Steamer, and it's the Steamer ticket. These tickets can be purchased at a special shop, and they allow you to call Steamer to any station. The Wiggler Hoot Nanny is back as well. However, this time it's activated by landing on the 2 event spaces in front of it, instead of just passing the space. Great change here. Another change made to it is the option to not only bring everyone to the space, but also 1 random player at a reduced cost. Although Jamboree's version has about 10 less spaces than Mario Party 2's version, this version still has an incredible 104 spaces, making it the largest of any of the boards in Jamboree, and making it perfect for 30-turn games. Although the bank spaces have been removed as well as the costumes, this board still has lots of charm and nostalgia for me, which is why I think Western Land is the best board in Super Mario Party Jamboree.